Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really jumping into something significant, a major shift in government contracting.
That's right.
The Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification, CMMC.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just theory anymore. It's actually hit formal rulemaking. There's an interim rule out in Title 48 of the Code of Federal Regulations.
Yep, 48 CFR. That's the key.
Exactly. So, our mission today, let's unpack what this milestone really means, especially for the defense industrial base, the DIB, and maybe even further out.
Okay, well, this is critical, this inclusion in Title 48, because Title 48, that's essentially, it's where the federal acquisition laws are housed,
Yeah.
all the buying rules.
Yeah, the main rule book.
Exactly. So putting CMMC 2.0 there formally embeds it right into the DFARS.
The Defense Federal Acquisition Regulation Supplement.
Correct. And that means it's not just, a good idea or a guideline anymore. It's actually acquisition law now.
Wow. Okay, so it's mandatory.
It's a fundamental shift, yeah. It basically makes cybersecurity a core requirement. Contracting officers now have the explicit authority, the backing, to put CMMC requirements directly into contracts. Compliance becomes, well, non-negotiable if you want to work with the DoD.
And what really grabs me here is the timeline, how fast this seems to be moving. Once the rule is published, there's that public comment period, right? Usually about 60 days.
Typically, yes. Gives stakeholders a chance to weigh in.
And then the DoD sets an effective date. Analysts are saying we could see CMMC requirements popping up in RFPs, requests for proposals, and actual contract clauses maybe as early as late 2025.
That projection sounds about right. It's not that far off, really.
Feels like it's just around the corner.
It does.
Yeah.
And to handle this, the DoD has mapped out a phased implementation. Makes sense, right? You can't flip a switch overnight.
So what does that look like?
So year one, you'll see an initial rollout. Just a small percentage of contracts needing CMMC Level 1 or Level 2 certification.
Okay, level 1 being sort of the basic cyber hygiene.
Exactly, foundational stuff. And Level 2 is based on NIST 800 Dalliance 71, much more robust controls, especially for sensitive data.
Okay.
Then, years 2 to 3, you'll see more contracts involved, particularly those handling CUI-controlled unclassified information. That's that sensitive government data that isn't technically classified.
Right, CUI is everywhere in defense contracts.
It is. So Level 2 assessments will become much more common then. And by years 3 to 5, the plan is full enforcement. Pretty much all contracts dealing with FCI, Federal Contract Information, or COI will need the right CMMC level.
Okay, a phased rollout makes sense, but I wonder, does it now maybe lull some folks into waiting too long? Because that brings up the Certified Third-Party Assessor Organizations, the C3PAOs.
Mm-hmm.
They seem absolutely critical, especially for Level 2, getting on their schedule early. That's going to be essential, isn't it? I can just picture this massive bottleneck.
Oh, absolutely. That's a very real concern. The C3PAO backlog is probably one of the biggest immediate challenges.
Besides just finding an assessor, what else are companies going to struggle with?
Well, documentation is a big one. Many organizations have gaps, like not having a fully developed systems security plan, an SSP.
Which details how they meet the requirements.
Exactly. Or not having a clear plan of actions and milestones, a POA&M, that shows what gaps they have and how, and crucially when, they're fixing them.
Okay.
Then there's managing vendor risk. Your subcontractors, they need to comply too, depending on the data they handle. That flow-down requirement adds complexity.
Right, the supply chain aspect.
Definitely. And let's be honest, the cost. Implementing the controls, getting assessed, maintaining compliance. It all requires investment.
Okay, so that leads to the million-dollar question for everyone listening.
Yeah.
What does this mean for you right now? How should contractors be preparing?
Yeah, action is key. First step, conduct a thorough gap assessment against NIST 800-171. That's the foundation for Level 2. See where you stand.
Know your gaps.
Precisely. Then prioritize fixing the high-risk areas. Things like access control, incident response planning, system monitoring. Get the big rocks handled first.
Makes sense.
It's also really important to talk to your subcontractors early. Understand their posture, make sure they know about the flow-down requirements. Don't wait until the last minute.
Good point. What about tools?
Leveraging GRC tools, governance, risk, and compliance platforms can be a huge help. They centralize your evidence, your policies, your SSP, your POA&M, makes preparing for an audit much, much smoother.
Streamlines the process.
Totally. And crucially, remember, CMMC isn't a one-and-done thing. It's about continuous monitoring, maintaining that security posture. Plan for that ongoing effort.
That's a solid roadmap for getting ready.
Yeah.
But stepping back for a second, What's the bigger picture here? Is this just a DoD thing, or could it spread?
Well, that's what's really interesting. While CMMC is definitely a DoD initiative, the fact that it's being codified like this, put into formal acquisition law, it has broader implications.
How so?
Other federal civilian agencies are watching closely. Critical infrastructure sectors are paying attention. Even international partners, they see this move towards a standardized, verifiable cybersecurity model.
So it could become a de facto standard beyond defense.
It really could. It suggests CMMC might set a new baseline for cybersecurity expectations. Maybe not just in the US, but potentially worldwide. Think of it like a seal of trust that other industries might start looking for.
So just to wrap things up then, the big takeaway is that putting CMMC into 48 CFR, it's the real deal. It's the turning point. It moves CMMC from just an idea into enforceable law for the DIB.
Absolutely. The waiting game is over. Being proactive now, doing those gap analyses, investing in the right controls and documentation, it's not just about meeting a requirement anymore. It's actually going to be a competitive advantage.
Definitely food for thought. And it raises a final question for everyone listening. Could CMMC actually be setting a precedent that fundamentally changes how all industries think about and handle cybersecurity in the coming years? Something to really consider for your own security strategy.